Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cindy.
And we're here with another Feeding Frenzy for The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwin Gaines, a simple guide to unlimited abundance. I said that without a huge.
You did.
And we're on chapter 8 still, and we're on day number 8 of chapter 8 of the 2 weeks in chapter 8.
So that's really the first day of the second week.
These have been good exercises.
They have. And I've been surprised at how many of them we were already doing without really knowing it.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it when you figure out, hey, I'm already doing that.
I don't have to do anything then.
Score.
And I think we do pretty good at this one, too. This is acknowledging others.
I think so. I think I pretty much do that on a pretty regular basis. There are days when I don't do it as often or as well as others. Obviously, it depends on mood, where I'm at. It also just depends on whether or not someone has just deeply touched me in the time. Sometimes it's just I didn't think about it. Didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't appreciate it, I just didn't think about it. But it comes as a great shock sometimes at how receptive people are to the smallest compliment. I can think back to a time when I was in a store and was behind a woman who was having a old-fashioned hissy fit. And when it came my turn, I just decided, you know what? This little cashier did a really good job of handling that. And I told her so. And the amount of shock was unbelievable. It was almost like she was poised and ready to take more.
Yeah. She thought you were going to jump her too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that she thought I was going to, but she was definitely ready for it. And I just think it's good, especially when you notice something like that, to acknowledge, hey, you did a really good job handling that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that this world would be a totally different place if when we went out, we had others on our mind more than ourselves or what we've got to accomplish. You know, we just don't have time to do that anymore, or think we don't.
We just don't make time to do it.
We don't make time to do it because we're in such a hurry. We're in such a rush. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about having to go out and be more friendly, more in more meetings and more group settings, and that's not my favorite thing to do. But then I get excited about it when I think about, okay, this is my chance to make someone else feel better. You know, this is my chance to help someone else, and it's hard to help people, even though we have computers and we do socialize a lot on there. It's hard to help others and really get to know them if you're not talking to them a lot, you know, or talking to them often. So I'm excited to meet new people and figure out how I can be of service to them.
Well, and it doesn't have to be big, grand, bold gestures. I had the opportunity today to help a little woman just out the door.
Yeah.
And, you know, it became obvious that she had help with her, but her help also had responsibilities. You know, her help had a small child with her. Well, there's only so much you can do.
It's pouring down rain, and she's in a walker.
And she's in a walker, and oh my gosh, let me hold the door at least, you know. And then it turned into, no, let me help you to the car. She was just overwhelmingly thankful for that. It was nothing. It was nothing to do, you know.
Right.
So we can
see, right place at the right time.
We can see opportunities around us all the time, and it doesn't take a big, bold gesture, you know, to make somebody's day. It really doesn't.
Right. So, you know, I'm really having fun as we try to change the way our business is working at looking at how can we serve others differently and better, you know, and how can we connect people or whatever we need to do to get them what they want and need, you know. When we look at our business as a service instead of a way to make money or to make a living, you know, how can we serve others the best? And if we just look at our life in general, is how can we serve others?
How can we serve more here?
Yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about the money, you know, and that's what's becoming more and more clear to me. I mean, I've known that all along, but that's really hard to apply when you have
but it's
to
a
feed
difference
the family,
between
you know,
talking about it and putting it into practice.
So if we're looking more at as Charles Fillmore said in his book Prosperity, when we are serving for the joy of serving, it makes a big difference. And if we could all find something that we can serve with or at, then the money, I feel certain that when we find that niche, that thing that lights our fire, and that we're best at. And I have to admit, that's been one of the hardest things for me to do, is to find that one little thing that I shine at more than anybody else, or to find my purpose. And I feel like, for me anyway, I love to learn so many different things, and I'm fairly good at so many different things. It's hard to figure out which one do I really shine at. You know what I mean? Which one is just comes so natural to me that I don't even think about it. And I think that's hard for most people, that the thing you're really good at, you don't even realize you're really good at, you know?
Yeah.
And others see it, but you don't. And it turns out, I think I'm finally getting there, but it's taken me a long time, you know? And to figure out that one thing that sets you apart from everybody else.
Well, it's hard to look at ourselves from our eyes.
It really is.
You know,
even looking in a mirror.
It is. You know, we need other people to point it out, and sometimes we need more than just a person. We need people. And you know, just like that cashier at the store, she may not have known. Hey, you handled that really well, until someone tells you.
Right. But here's what else I'm figuring out too, is that we need feedback from
We
others.
do need feedback.
And too many people are afraid to give feedback, even if it's good feedback. They don't want to get in the way or sound weird.
She knows she's doing a good job.
Yeah, she knows she's
we
good at
don't need to
that.
do
Well,
that.
maybe not.
But maybe
there are
just she
things
doesn't.
that I do just second nature that I don't even realize I do. And other people, you know, are finally pointing out and saying, how'd you do that? You know, how did you know how to do that? You know? So I think we need to give others more feedback, especially on the good things.
Especially when we're wanting feedback too. I mean, why wouldn't we give the feedback?
Right. Yeah.
And not necessarily criticism,
No.
but just feedback on how they're doing.
Yeah.
We need it too. Because I think when we acknowledge what others do for us, we then see how we can be in service to other people. We see where we are giving or where we are not giving as much as we can.
Right.
When we acknowledge what others do for us, we can then see the other avenues where we can open up and give more, or other avenues where we are giving.
Right. Okay, I get that. I know it goes along with that golden rule, you know, doing to others as you have them doing to you, and we all love to be acknowledged. Even those of us who don't like to be in the spotlight, we still like to be acknowledged.
We like to get that at a girl.
Yeah, like, you know, at least a small word, even the smallest, even a smile.
Yeah.
You know, I know I did a presentation this weekend, and I didn't care if people really were thrilled to be there, but they could at least act like they weren't sleeping through it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, even the ones that did sleep through it told me it was a good job, so I thought, well, at least there's that, you know?
Yeah.
I think we all need that feedback of what do people think of me, or what, not that we should really care what people think of us, but it always helps when someone comes along and says, you know, you did a good job, I like you, or whatever, you know.
Well, it also helps me to do a self-check. If I'm not happy where I am, then I need to start seeing where do I need to make a change. And if I cannot acknowledge what others are doing for me, then I know that I'm not doing enough for others. You see what I'm saying? So that then begins the first place where I can begin to make a change. I know in order to receive more, I have to give more. So if I'm not receiving the Attagirls that I want to get,
Probably because you're not giving them.
then I'm not giving them.
Yeah, good point.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, good point.
So then when I start looking at myself and where I'm sitting and where I'm at in this stage of life, if I'm uncomfortable or not where I need to be, then the first thing that I need to look at is, then what am I doing? What am I giving for someone else?
Right.
So I see it as a very important part of my self-care, because everything that I give out comes back.
Right.
So if I'm not getting what I need, then I know there's something I'm not getting.
Yeah. Wow, that's good stuff. Good stuff. So who are you going to acknowledge today? Pick me, pick me.
I think we acknowledge each other pretty well as far as what we do. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that one and pray about that one because I don't want to go to my usual go-tos. To this one is speaking to me to search a little deeper. Maybe find someone who hasn't necessarily taken a at-a-girl stance in my life, but has in some way, because of the conflict maybe that I've had, I've been able to grow or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every person I come in contact with leaves some kind of mark. Helps me grow, pushes me forward, encourages in some way.
Right.
And I'm being called to look at it a little deeper. So I'm really going to take some time with it and pray about it. It's, and ask that question, who in my life have I failed to acknowledge their contribution?
Right.
Even if it was small. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And
I'm going to
maybe
think about it.
those people who don't get acknowledged very often, the ones that are behind the scenes and don't get a lot of attaboys.
Credits.
Yeah.
For what they do.
What they do behind the scenes. The first thing came to my mind was my clients. Some of my clients who, are really good clients, and they often get lost in the shuffle because they're not the squeaky wheel. And I'm thinking maybe I need to reach out to them and say, "Thanks for me."
Just can you imagine what it would be like to be that client and just all of a sudden receive a, "Hey, I just wanted to contact you and say thank you for being a good client."
Yeah.
Imagine what that would do for your day. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
That and just some of the people at the gym who inspire me with, I may not have even ever spoke to them before, but just by seeing them show up and work so hard. I see some of them run around that parking lot and just sweat dripping off of them, and they just sort of get lost in the crowd sometimes.
And then you think of the people that perform services for us that don't ever get acknowledged. And don't ever get that.
Check out line at the grocery store.
Or, the person that comes and collects our trash once a week. I myself used to deliver mail. And very rarely, if ever, got a thank you or, anything. So, when I think about who do I need to give a kudos to, I really, really want to look for someone or some people, maybe more than one, who literally just blend in to make my day easier. What?
It makes me want to go to one of the fast food restaurants or just somewhere and get some little gift certificates for $5 or whatever, and just leave it out there with the trash for the trash man, or and in the mailbox for the mail carrier, just some of those things, and not at Christmas.
Yeah.
Just sporadically.
I did that one year, and I only did it once. I went and I got, and I don't remember now what it was. It might have been a gift certificate to someplace to eat or something. And I taped it to the top of the trash can, and wrote on there to the man/woman, because I really wasn't sure when it got picked up. I didn't know who it was, who collects every week a small thank you, and just left it, there on top. And I knew it had been taken because it wasn't there at the end of the day. Now, I never got a wow, thank you or anything from it. But knowing I was able to say thank you, even though I wasn't here in person, that meant a lot. So, that's an excellent idea. I did do that once, and I should do it more often. But, when we think about people that we thank, it's those people who are foremost in our lives.
Right.
Who do big things.
Right.
But I think this one is a call to search out for someone who does maybe the little things that make my life easier.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot of thought and prayer.
I agree.
I'm going to make it a point to reach out.
Right.
And say thank you.
All right, good stuff. Acknowledge others. Don't forget to do that.
I'm not going to forget to do that. I'm going to make it a point to choose someone that I may not have thanked in a while or haven't yet thanked for making my life easier or adding to it.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
That is good stuff. Shrink.